Teachers. We all know them, and without realizing it, we all have been one. Perhaps you were telling your younger sibling to chew with their mouth closed, or simply advising your friend that it's best they study for their upcoming test. We have all been a teacher in one way or another and have impacted others. But perhaps we have never thought of the effects that this might have. We were all babies once, and were taught to crawl, walk, and speak. These basic elements are with us all our lives. Every day, a child with their curious and developing brain enters their school. They eagerly walk into their classroom as they prepare for an exciting lesson to be taught. The teacher enters with a planned lesson and different methods in order to instruct their students. Anything that might happen will affect the student, whether good or bad. 3 years ago, I was a very shy student. Therefore, I never spoke out and found it difficult to find my place and make friends. I used to hate it when teachers would call me unexpectedly. And since I didn't often volunteer, teachers would always call on me. I would shyly mumble the answer as I had those horrible butterflies in my stomach. Each time, I had less and less confidence in myself than before. For some students, being put on the spot has definite negative effects, as it may cause them to feel intimidated and result in an avoidance and aversion towards classes. Each day, a child will enter their school, and if they feel intimidated, that's not something that we want. In fact, cold calling has been proven at 97.5% as an unsuccessful method. So no wonder I constantly felt intimidated and hated this process. However, one day my life changed. I never really liked drama class, as I'd be forced to perform in front of the whole class. My palms would get sweaty as my body would shake with stage fright. Yet Mr. S, the drama teacher, had a special way in treating his students. Every day, he would walk into class with a huge smile on his face, spreading all of his positivity to his students. In class, he would ask for 3 volunteers to get up and try an activity. Of course, the most confident students had their hands waving high in the air, as I would shyly hide in the very back. But since Mr. S was different, he never forced anybody to go on stage. While occasionally he would offer, he always respected my decision and gave me alternative ways to expressing myself rather than forcing me out of my comfort zone. This gave me a feeling of acceptance which boosted my confidence. When the class would do smaller activities, I would speak up, even if it were just from the comfort of my desk. Slowly, I became more self-assured to the point where I was running to partake in activities of nervousness and intimidation that I never imagined I could do before. Speaking in front of my class used to be a nightmare, but those feelings finally began to disappear. 75% of the world's population have a great fear of public speaking. This horrible fear may be a result of poor self-image or low self-esteem. But these feelings aren't something that we're naturally born with, yet they're caused by the events that impact our ways of thinking and have an overall huge effect on our lives. Therefore, we must seek ways in order to build our confidence, and teachers can be our gateways due to their huge impacts on us. So one day, Mr. S announces to the class that we'd be putting on a huge production in front of the whole school and our parents. Of course, Mr. S provided alternative options, such as lighting, sound, or stage management for those who clearly didn't want to be up and on stage. Incredibly, I wanted to act. So I intensely practiced for my audition, and on the day of my audition, I performed with confidence. After auditions, I was thrilled to have been given the role that I wanted. Eventually, after numerous rehearsals, the big day finally came. The girl that was once afraid to talk to one person now had to get up in front of her whole school. But Mr. S always had faith in me and never doubted my abilities. So I did it. I got up on stage, and at that moment, I had felt as if I had finally broken free from the shell that I was once trapped in before. So I'd like to say thank you to Mr. S. Because without the positive effect that he was able to have on his students, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Till this day, I'm so grateful to have had such an amazing and inspiring teacher like Mr. S. His effect was able to help me through life. I started speaking to others and doing things that I love, which I struggled to do before because I lacked the confidence. Yet ever since I gained the confidence that I was missing, my life had been made easier. It was as if a piece of me that had been missing was finally found. I no longer get nervous or have to mumble what I want to say, and for me, that was overall life-changing. So the first step to take would have to be a step back and notice how big of an effect you have on others. As a society, we need to acknowledge that we may not reflect on the impact that our words or actions have or have had on others. Altogether, teachers' effects on students are very powerful, and which we must navigate in order to properly shape the children of the world. So take a drama class. Thank you.